Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another shelf in my DVD slash Blu-ray shelf by shelf series. I am so sorry for the long ass delay in videos, but this summer has been on a different level of busy for me. And now that the kid's back in school, I actually have a little bit of breathing room for the time being, so videos are going to continue. And yeah, man, sometimes life just gets the better part of you and, you know, you just can't do what you were usually doing, and that's what happened to me in the last, like, 3 months, so. But anyways, these videos are going to continue. Let's continue along with shelf number 17, which is the Shout Factory shelf. Not Scream Factory, just Shout Factory. We'll get to the 200 and something plus Blu-rays from Scream Factory that I have way later down the road, but they are coming, so let's get into this. Alright, here, shelf number 17 here, which is actually going to be the Roger Corman Cult Classic line, which is one of my favorite lines ever released on media. I think this was the coolest thing ever. I'm missing 3 from the collection, and I'm missing 3 because they were exclusive to the website, and when these things started coming out in, what, 2010, 11, whatever it was, the shipping was atrocious, so I couldn't order from the site directly. It was about $30 for one DVD, so I tried to pick them up on eBay and stuff, but everyone was trying to gouge for those because they were exclusives and stuff, and I'm sure I can probably find them now. I just kind of forgot about them, but I'm missing 3. But anyways, let's get into this. First up here is Mutant, also known as Forbidden World. I have this on the reverse because I actually like this cover a lot better. Pretty cool sci-fi horror. Can't go really wrong with this, man. I think this is one of the funnest ones here. Breakdown of the story, but yeah, man, really good Roger Corman produced stuff here. Low budget, cheesy, but awesome. Can't go wrong. Humanoids from the Deep, man. This is one that I've been wanting to upgrade to Blu-ray because I absolutely love this film. It's basically creatures coming out of the water who are essentially raping women, to put it in the harshest possible way. But yeah, they are made from like DNA and stuff, and they need to mate with humans. So that's what they essentially are doing. It's just such an amazing film. I've always loved this one. I love the way the creatures look. Yeah, it's great, man. Complete uncut version of the cult classic. Awesome stuff. I really gotta upgrade that one. But Piranha, man. Can't go wrong with the original Piranha. Always loved this one. I actually first seen this film when I was about 6 or 7 years old. Solely by accident, actually. I was at a friend's house, and he had an older sister, she was quite a bit older. She was 7 or 8 years older than us, and she was watching a VHS tape of this. And it was actually, I remember seeing the scene where the huge massacre at the beach happens, and that was like my introduction to this film. And I remember for years I hadn't seen it, you know, in full until I was about 13 or 14. But yeah, that one scene has been ever etched in my mind. Love Piranha. Great stuff. Next up here is Suburbia. This is a really cool film. Basically about early 80s punk life. Kind of documentary style in a sense. It's just a really good depiction of it. I've heard from people that were punks around this time that say this is just a great, you know, depiction of the lifestyle. I've even read from recent reviews where this film has been criticized and like, oh, punks didn't act like that back in the day and stuff. It's like, well, most of the people in this film weren't even actors. They were played by real punks. So, I mean, if there weren't real punks, then why were they acting like that? Like, I don't get it. But yeah, Suburbia, really cool film. Everyone needs to check that out. Even if you're not into punk stuff, it's still really interesting. Rock and Roll High School, man. This one is really fucking awesome too, man. It's got the Ramones, more or less a musical in a sense. But, you know, if you're into Ramones, punk music again, awesome stuff, man. It's got quite the cast in it too, man. PJ Soul's in this one. Vince Van Patten from Hell Night. Clint Howard. Pretty awesome stuff, man. So, yeah, Rock and Roll High School, pretty awesome stuff. Death Race 2000 with David Carradine, Stallone. This fucking movie, man. There's a young Stallone right there, if you guys can see him. I have always adored the storyline in this. How you win is by killing the most people. Spectators, drivers, whatever it is. Just such an awesome storyline. I love it, man. But Death Race 2000, you know, I was never really a big fan of like all the kind of remakes and things. I saw the first one and really hated it, but I don't know. That one's just so much fun. Galaxy of Terror. Yes, some sci-fi horror goodness right here. Another really fun-ass film. with Sid Haig. Yeah, love this film. Really fun stuff. Yeah, Galaxy Terror, one of my favorite sci-fi horror films. Always love that one. And then we got Death Sport and Battle Truck. Post-apocalyptic films is essentially what they are. Really fun stuff. Both of them, really good time. Cheesy, low-budget stuff. Richard Lynch is in this one. Richard Lynch's hair is pretty awesome, I have to admit, in this one. Not as good as another film, but in Battle Truck, more or less the same type of stuff, but yeah, really good. Star Crash. Just even having Star in the title pretty much gives what this one is away. It's essentially a Star Wars ripoff. Low-budget version of Star Wars. Playing off the success of it, of course, you know, Roger Corman had to get into that market of doing Star Wars ripoffs because that's what was big at the time. And that's essentially what you're going to get here. It's intergalactic battles, man. It's pretty good. Pretty cool, cheesy shit. The Evil and Twice Dead double feature here. I always loved The Evil. I thought it was a really good type, supernatural, I guess, demon type film. Loved the atmosphere in that one. Always loved it. Twice Dead, it's okay. I think the cover art's probably better than the actual film itself. It's got some really cheesy moments, like look at that shit right there. Sorry guys about the glare. I'm kind of sitting in the corner, but yeah, I mean, I recommend this though. Pretty fun stuff. Then we got the Slumber Party Massacre collection, triple feature. Yeah, I have all these on Blu-ray now too, which is kind of cool. I think the third one comes fully uncut on the Blu-ray, which for whatever reasons it wasn't uncut on this. I don't know why they did that, but they did. Always loved the Slumber Party Massacre trilogy. All the films were directed by females, which I always thought was interesting, and they were heavily criticized. I know the first one was heavily criticized at the time for, you know, exploiting women and stuff, but I think the people that were complaining didn't realize they were actually done by females. They were more empowering women. I think that was kind of the point of the films, which I think people missed the point of that, but always loved the first one. The second one is like one of the most bizarre films ever made, in my opinion, especially after a pretty standard type slasher film, to come out with part two where it's like a supernatural fucking rockabilly musical. I don't even know how to classify that film. It's just really, really bizarre. Used to hate it as a child. Really grew to like it a lot. Part 3 is bad, but I've always liked it too. It's just standard shitty slasher, but yeah, good collection. The Terror Within and Deep Space. Terror Within, cool creature feature. Dead Space, which is, I think, supposed to be yeah, it even says on the back here, a remake of Forbidden World. A loose remake of it, so in a sense kind of the same thing, but the Terror Within, awesome, cheesy shit right there. With George Kennedy, pretty awesome stuff, man. Can't go wrong. And then we got the remake of Not of This Earth with the gorgeous, heavenly Tracy Lords. I think this is one of her first roles, first starring roles after she quit the porn industry. And I believe, is this the last movie? I think this might even be the last movie that she ever showed her boobs in too, which is kind of an interesting factor. I think this is the one. But honestly, man, Tracy Lords does a good job in this film. I always like this remake. I'm a big fan of the original one, directed by Roger Corman himself, but this is a fun remake. I've always had a blast with it. And I mean, to be honest, I used to check out everything with Tracy Lords, man, because she was such a enigma to me. You know, her underage porn and how it was all pulled and stuff. She was always hard to find, you know, but Tracy Lords, man, Not of This Earth remake. I always enjoyed the shit out of it. Streetwalking, this is one I haven't watched in a long time. I think I've only watched it once. Basically about a woman that, I think she leaves like an abusive type relationship or something. Anyway, she ends up going to the big city and becoming a hooker. And it's basically, you know, a character study of her. Streetwalking, yeah. Crazy Mama and The Lady in Red. The Lady in Red is, you know, it's just the Dillinger story, low budget Dillinger story, which is actually pretty cool. Crazy Mama, which is about, I think it's like a mother and daughter that essentially get their shop. I think they owned a salon, they get it repossessed, and they go on this crime spree and stuff. It's actually pretty fun, more of a comedy type deal, but yeah, okay. Then we got Big Mama 2 with Angie Dickinson. These are films that kind of take place around Prohibition, crime dramas. This one right here has got William Shatner in it, Tom Skrellick. Yeah, these are actually pretty fun. And honestly, really enjoyed these ones. Pretty cool stuff. Good exploitation from the times. Yeah, good stuff. Up from the Depths and Demon of Paradise. These are essentially Jaws ripoffs. You know, Roger Corman was known for doing remakes and ripoffs of things and cashing in on what was popular at the time. Why not, right? Up from the Depths and Demon of Paradise. I think I like Up from the Depths a little bit more than Demon of Paradise. From what I remember from Demon of Paradise, you don't get to see the monster a lot. I don't think you get to see that imagery there at all. But yeah, they're Jaws ripoffs. Enough said, right? Alright, speaking of Roger Corman here, here's a triple feature that he actually directed: Attack of the Crab Monsters, War of the Satellites, and the original Not of This Earth. All from the mid-50s? No, 57, 58, and 58. All fantastic films. Loved all these ones. You know, in typical Roger Corman fashion, short as hell. 62, 67, and 65 minutes. Like, so bizarre how short these films are. So, I mean, you can essentially watch this thing in 3 hours. Pretty cool. But yeah, all sci-fi-ish type things. Awesome. Love them. Jackson County Jail and Caged Heat. Yeah, these are women in prison films, man. Exploitation women in prison films. Cannot go wrong with these. I think these were, I want to say, shot in the Philippines. Is probably part of the Machete Maidens documentary. Tommy Lee Jones. Like, crazy stuff right here. But yeah, that's essentially what you're going to get with these ones. Tommy Lee Jones actually young at one time. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, these are fun. These are fun films. And then we got Georgia Peaches, The Great Texas Dynamite Chase, and Smokey Bites the Dust. I've never actually watched Smokey Bites the Dust, I'll be honest. The Great Texas Dynamite Chase is a fun one. And Georgia Peaches is okay. I'm not really a big fan of that one. But The Great Texas Dynamite Chase, fun shit right there. Yeah, good stuff. Action films. Then we got a Ron Howard double pack here of Eat My Dust and Grand Theft Auto. Car films, essentially. Eat My Dust says it all. Grand Theft Auto is actually his directorial debut. He directed... No. Yeah, I've totally lost my train of thought there. But anyways, this one right here is about... I think he steals like his dad's car, and his girlfriend go on a... They go on a joyride, man, essentially what it is. Pretty fun stuff. Nothing crazy, you know, these ones are like kind of PG type films. Ron Howard, more or less, is a little bit cleaner, but pretty fun stuff. Battle Beyond the Stars. This is another Star Wars type ripoff. That's essentially what it is. Some sci-fi goodness here, man. Yeah, man, this one right here. Sybil Danning. That's kind of the seller in here. Sybil Danning right there. And her beautiful tits. But yeah, it's what it is. It's another Star Wars ripoff. Really cheesy, but fun effects and stuff in it. I don't know, I always like that one. Oh man, speaking of cheese, man. Deathstalker 1 and 2, Barbarian Queen, and the Warrior and the Sorceress. Oh, dude, Deathstalker 1 and 2 are so much fun. I think there's like 3 or 4 of those things or something. I can't remember how many there is. And Barbarian Queen is so cheesy, man. It's so cheesy. And the Warrior and the Sorcerer, same thing with David Carradine. I believe David Carradine, yeah. He said that one. But yeah, I mean, the Deathstalker films are super cheesy, but you know what you're getting yourself into. If you've seen a sword and sorcery film, you kind of seen them all. They're essentially very similar. So, but very, very fun collection right there. The Mummies, Vampires, Mummies, and Monsters 4-pack with Lady Frankenstein, The Velvet Vampire, Time Walker, and Grotesque. Lady Vampire, always been a big fan of that one. It's kind of so bad it's good. I don't know what it is about that one. I always liked it. Velvet Vampire is about this couple that gets seduced by this age-old vampire. Time Walker's a mummy film, which is pretty fun. And Grotesque has Linda Blair in it. And yeah, it's kind of like a, from what I remember, like a home invasion type deal, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a while. I know a couple of these have made it to Blu-ray. I think The Velvet Vampire, Time Walker, maybe Lady Frankenstein was on there too. I can't remember. From, of course, Scream Factory. But they are exclusive things, and I'm just not fucking with that exclusive bullshit. But yeah, Time Walker's a fun one. Pretty cool stuff. Streets and Angel in Red. Streets is a pretty intriguing film, actually, with Christina Applegate, that she filmed this while she was on Married to Children. I think it got released years later, while she was still on Married to Children, but it's definitely a different type of movie for her, man. Yeah, here's kind of the breakdown to it, but I remember her performance being actually really damn good in this. You know, and Angel in Red I have not watched, I'll be honest, so Can't watch them all, right? But yeah, Lethal Weapons collection, triple feature, which is my favorite probably release out of the whole thing here. Firecracker, TNT Jackson, and Too Hot to Handle. 3 women exploitation action films that are just so phenomenally amazing. I think all these ones were kind of shot in the Philippines also. Like, Firecracker is just so fucking good, man. The lead chick in this is just amazing. All typical type storylines and shit, you know what you're getting with them, but there's kind of the breakdowns for them. But man, dude, these are awesome. Awesome shit. I've watched Firecracker so many times. Some of the moves, and she's like fighting in her, oh, gee, I don't even want to ruin it, man. You just got to see Firecracker. It's so amazing. The Arena, Fly Me, and CoverGirl Models. Again, more action, exploitation type women films. Basically all essentially the same. Here's the breakdown for them. I don't want to talk about all of them. It'd take like 3 hours to talk about these films, but The Arena's pretty cool. Not a bad one. Yeah, well, they attempted to beat the Romans at Throne Game star Pam Grier. That's right. This one, it's pretty fun, man. CoverGirl Models is just ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Fly Me is like, I think it's like, these are like white kung fu artists. Martial artists and shit. It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. The Big Birdcage, Big Dollhouse, and Women in Cages. Of course, Walter Hill directed The Big Birdcage and the sequel, The Big Dollhouse. And Women in Cages, man, these are, again, women in prison films. All shot in the Philippines. Heavily exploitated films. Pam Grier's in this one. Sid Haig's also in The Big Birdcage. Fantastic stuff. I think The Big Dollhouse was more of like, or was it Women in Cages? I can't remember. No, I think it's Big Dollhouse. I always get those two mixed up. One of them's like more comical, and I think it's The Big Dollhouse. I think this one kind of got a little bit sillier. But yeah, they're women in cages, women in prison films, which are awesome. Yeah, lots of titties and just heavily exploited films. Love them. Speaking of exploitation, the Nurses Collection, Candy Stripe Nurses, Night Call Nurses, Private Duty Nurses, and the Young Nurses. I believe there's a 5th one. I think this might actually be part 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think the first one's missing here, or I might be mistaken. Maybe it's missing the last. I can't remember. One of them's missing out of this. I remember I looked into it years ago. I haven't looked into it for a long time, but these are nurse films with ridiculous storylines. Like, it's, oh, man, you got to see these to believe them. They're just, some are better than others, but you know what you're getting with these ones. All very short films, 70 to 80 minutes long and stuff. But yeah, there's a breakdown for all of them right there if you guys want to pause that and read them. But pretty fun stuff, man. I gotta be in the mood to watch this. But that's gonna do it for the Roger Corman collection. Like I said, I'm missing actually 3 of those. So now just on to some regular Shout Factory releases. Again, this is not Scream Factory. Dead Cert, it's like a fucking vampire type film. I remember not really caring for this one whatsoever. One time watch. Kingdom of the Spiders, one of my favorite spider movies of all time with William Shatner. I know this one just came out on Blu-ray, which I'm thinking about upgrading because I love this one so much. It's got so much great spider action in this, man. One of the greatest endings also. You know, you just can't make movies like this anymore because they use real spiders. And there's a scene in this film where it's unbelievable to watch today. By today's standards, people, like, you could never do it. PETA would be all over that shit, man. They'd be like, fuck that. You can't do that shit. So, Kingdom of the Spiders, amazing. Cannibal Girls with Eugene Levy. It's a Canadian flick about cannibal girls. I do have the Canadian Blu-ray of this. Don't know why Shout Factory never put it out themselves, but I do, with different cover art. And yeah, Cannibal Girls, pretty fun. Pretty fun. Kind of exploitation stuff from the early 70s, 1972. Look at Eugene Levy there. Holy shit, that's awesome. That's some good shit right there. Cold Prey 2. Man, I haven't done one of these videos in a while. My arm's starting to hurt. Sorry about the glare. I'm like right next to the window here so you guys can see. Cold Prey 2. Better than the first one in my opinion. Love the first one. Really love the second one. Love the hospital setting in this one. It's got great atmosphere. This is awesome. I wish the third one would get an English-friendly release because this is a really good, well, start. I haven't seen the third one, but I heard it is the weakest one, but still, they're Cold Prey films, right? Steve Niles' Remains, not a very good zombie film whatsoever. Didn't care for it. Bad Dreams, Visiting Hour, double feature. I also have this on Blu-ray. I actually thought I'd gotten rid of this, to be honest. I was surprised to see this was still in here. I just have no use for this anymore, so I'll probably give it to somebody. But Bad Dreams, essentially what it is kind of a Dream Warriors ripoff. If you've seen Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, it's kind of what it is. Visiting Hours with Richard Lynch. Or is he in the other one? Am I just fucking around here? No, it's William Shatner in that one. Am I getting them backwards? No, yeah, Richard Lynch is in Bad Dreams. I always do that. I do that every single time with these films. But yeah, Visiting Hours pretty cool. Good hospital stuff. The Stepfather. Oh man, one of my favorite slasher films of all time. Terry McQuinn. Absolutely. Did I say McQuinn? Terry O'Quinn kills this role. Stepfather 2 might even be better, which is amazing. So, Spike and Mike's Sick and Twisted Festival of Animation. This is just like ridiculous shorts, like adult shorts and stuff. Kind of funny. Count Dracula's Great Love on the Elvira Movie Macabre line. I have this on Blu-ray also from Vinegar Syndrome, and they killed the transfer on it, man. The transfer on this is so shitty. Like, these are really kind of... But I keep this because it's cool, because you can play it in Elvira mode and stuff, and it's just cool. It's actually really cool to see it in these modes. Legacy of Blood, and of course, Devil's Wedding Night, which has been released by Code Red on Blu-ray. Legacy of Blood... I don't even remember much about... Devil's Wedding Night's okay. It's alright, but I don't remember Legacy of Blood that much, to be honest. Kind of strange. Here's the sealed copy of Devil's Wedding Night, which I actually got for free, so it's still sitting in there. Blue Sunshine and Monstroid. Monstroid, so fucking cheesy. Blue Sunshine, man, is just such an amazing film, man. I absolutely love Blue Sunshine. It's such a unique type film, and I wish more people would actually get to see it. Yeah, it's really damn good, man. Like, you guys want to read the storyline on that? If you don't know what it's about, it's just... It's so good. It's really, really good. Yeah, check out the Blu-ray. It's, like, phenomenal. The Doomsday Machine and Werewolf of Washington. I believe both these are public domain films they kind of threw on here, but it's cool to watch them in this, you know, in the Elvira mode and stuff. Werewolf of Washington has some of the worst effects ever, but so much fun, though. Doomsday Machine... it's okay. Not really a big fan of that one. 4-pack time. The 4 sci-fi movie marathon with Arena, Eliminators, America 3000, and the Time Guardian Eliminators has made its way to Blu-ray. I know a lot of people have been picking that up. Pretty fun. Not really the greatest, but it's fun. Arena kicks ass. I love Arena. It's just battling in the arena, man. Man versus monster. It's pretty awesome. America 3000, I believe it's like post-apocalyptic stuff, and Time Guardian... I'm not even remembering Time Guardian much. Set in year 4039. Yeah, I can't even remember it. Action adventure movie marathon. The Jim Brown film, I Escaped from Devil's Island. Pretty fun exploitation stuff. The final option, we've got Shake Hands with the Devil and Treasure of the Four Crowns. I love the Jim Brown film. It's fun. Final option is pretty cool. I haven't watched Shake Hands with the Devil. I believe it's from like the 50s, to be honest. 1959, yeah. And this one, Treasure from the Four Crowns, I do not remember. This I love. This is like an amazing 4-pack. Cyclone, Alienator, Exterminator 2, and Eye of the Tiger. Alienator, Exterminator 2 have made their way to Blu-ray. The crown jewel on here, though, is Eye of the Tiger with Gary Busey. What an amazing action film. It's just so cheesy and bad. I love it. Cyclone, chick on a motorbike, or on a motorcycle. And I'm sure we all know Exterminator 2 and Alienator. But Eye of the Tiger, man, that one needs the proper treatment, man. It's really good. Love that film. Part 2 of the movie marathon, action-packed movie marathon with Bulletproof, Bamboo Gods and Iron Men, Track Down, and Sorcery. Bulletproof is very typical action with Gary Busey. Bamboo Gods and Iron Men, some pretty cool black exploitation. Track Down I thought was alright for, you know, a Western type film, and I haven't watched the last one. I'll be honest, I have not watched that one yet. Don't really know much about it. This is a pretty good 4-movie marathon volume 1 here. Invasion of the B-Girls, The Devil's 8, Vicious Lips, and Unholy Rollers. Vicious Lips and Invasion of B-Girls have Scream Factory Blu-rays now. Vicious Lips is such a strange movie. It's from 1986, and it's like this band that goes up to up to space, and it's like a musical. It's really bizarre. Invasion of Beat Girls is a fun one. Unholy Rollers is female roller derby, and The Devil's Eight, which I have not seen yet. So there seems to be one on each pack I have not seen. I just realized that. Yeah, I haven't watched The Devil's Eight yet. I need to check that one out. It's got Christopher George in it, which is just a shame I haven't seen that film. And here's Volume 2, Angels from Hell. Pretty cool biker film, Chatterbox. About a woman's singing vagina. Yes, Chatterbox. The Naked Cagers has a Blu-ray now, and Savage Island, which is really fucking horrible, but it's kind of like two movies put together, essentially, with footage shot by Linda Blair, then put into this other film. It's ridiculous. A Naked Cage is women in cage stuff. Women in prison stuff, so good stuff. Savage Island's always kind of cracks me up. It's ridiculous fun. Naked Cage is pretty fun. Chatterbox, you gotta see it. You gotta see it to believe it. It's ridiculous. And from what I have on the Blu-rays here, I do have quite a few more Shout Factory Blu-rays, but a lot of them are just action and Shout Selects and stuff that just are not fitting on the shelf, so they're in a different section. But got Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry and Race of the Devil. This should have been called the action-packed best ending double feature of all time, because both movies have spectacular endings. It's a great action film, kind of fugitive film, and Race of the Devil is like a cult film, road horror. Yeah, man, these are awesome. Really good stuff here. And the last one on here is A Boy and Its Dog with Don Johnson, which post-apocalyptic stuff. Might as well put in here, right? Kind of fits the mold of whatever, all the other shit that we just seen. Don Johnson is telepathic dog. Great stuff. We covered this on the podcast way back in the day, man. Really good stuff. But yeah, so that is going to do it for shelf number 17. When we moving on very, very quickly and getting into all these other ones. I can't wait to do the original Anchor Bay one, which is like all the way down there. It's probably gonna, that video is gonna be like an hour, I swear. And same with the Blue Underground. It's ridiculous, but again, for the people, the Shout or the Scream Factory stuff is all here. I got on these two shelves, which is, I don't know, like close to 300 Blu-rays. It's ridiculous. So anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for that one. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had fun doing that, you know, revisiting the Roger Corman Cult Classics section, because I really have always loved that line, and maybe in the near future here I'll actually get my hands on the ones that I'm missing. So anyways, guys, I'm out of here, running out of time on the camera, so this is perfect, 27 minute. That was actually a shorter video. And as usual, guys, peace!